Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Today is June 22nd, 2018, and today is Friday morning. So looking at the economic events of the day, all day today, we're going to have OPEC meetings, and that's really to affect the oil after yesterday's bounce. We'll take a look at that. And then later today at 2:30 South African time, monthly CPI number coming out of Canada. And we take a look at that, and simultaneously monthly retail sales coming out. Now, between all these events today, OPEC meetings and monthly CPI, really the most important items of the day. The CPI is an inflationary number that's coming out. So if there are any surprises, we do want to be aware of them, especially as the number comes out. OPEC meetings later today, and this is a very important event, as you know, the production is consistent and they're keeping a lot of inventory and keeping the price down. So we take a look at that as well. But let's see what's been happening in the markets. So most importantly, across the board versus the dollar, we've seen a massive shift. Okay, we're going to jump into the Euro USD here, and as you can see, we consolidated finally at this 115.17-ish level, and we're bouncing off of that low, and we're trading right now at 1627. So I believe we'll be trading between two ranges. Okay, I think that there may be a continuation to this short squeeze, and we may see it capitulate up to the 1619-ish level, but I do believe that we'll be trading between 1517-ish level and the 1690-ish level, and that's going to be our new trading range. Right now we're at a small little, I would call it, resistance level at 1633-ish level. So if we do break that area, we can see it close in onto the 1690-ish level. Okay, but the real catalyst here that moved us up higher was the GBP. Okay, earlier in the week the GBP was really very weak and breaking down and not bouncing when the euro bounced versus the dollar. And sure enough, it was just waiting until the rate decision yesterday that came out of the UK. And sure enough, look at that. That's, you know, a nice spike on the upside. Now, I do believe also that we'll be trading in a range. I don't think that we'll be breaking above, 34-ish level for sure, but I think we'll be trading up until 33.47-ish level, okay, and trading between this 31.11-ish level, okay. So keep that in mind as this continues to trade later today. And like I said, you may see a reversal here and a test back to this 1322-ish level, okay, and that will give you an upside down head and shoulders, right there. That would be that upside down head and shoulders, and that's what I would look for later today. So if it does bounce sell off to this support line, it may continue going up to the 33-ish level and, consolidating all the way up there. So that's basically my play here, okay? So just keep in mind as that continues to trade later today. Now, looking at the Swiss franc, we finally got that sell-off off of that trend line, okay? We breached it the previous day, and we said, wait a second, let's see if this is going to continue. It did not continue. It faltered. Okay, so this spike upwards was just a nice fade that followed. Okay, so it comes to show us that there's no real follow through here. There's no major buyers. I don't see us breaking above the one. Okay, but I do see us trading within several ranges, okay, between 98 and 99-ish level, okay, and I think that that's where we're going to be. Right now, we're right in smack in the middle of that, so just be aware of it. Now, looking at the Rand, the US dollar versus the Rand, we're trading at 13.55. Now, we capitulated here at 13.94, just below 14, and we're breaking this 13.55. If we do not break this 13.45, we could see it then trading in a range. But if we do see it breaking 13.45, then guess what? We could see a correctional move all the way down to the high 212-ish level, okay? That's what I anticipate here with the Rand versus the dollar, okay? It really had a tremendous seesaw right here, as you can see, from when we went to before, the elections that came out for the ANC, all in that, and capitulating with the Rand right now. Now, if we jump to the Aussie dollar as well, very weak here, and, a little bit of a relief that this finally bounced here, maybe possibly because of the GBP, mostly, okay? But it's not really bouncing with some momentum. So I'm more inclined to think, like I said before, that we'll be trading in a range. On the upper side, 74.20-ish level, on the lower side, 73.55-ish level, okay? So keep that in mind as that continues to trade. Now, looking at the USD Canadian dollar, we hit all-time lows for the year for the Canadian dollar versus the USD, and we're selling off here a little bit, but not much. Okay, so if this CPI number comes out negative, then we could definitely see it continue closing in into this 33.78-ish level. However, if it does, sell off here, okay, and get a little bit stronger versus the dollar, okay, just be aware that you have a support level, minor support level of 32.20-ish level, and then another support level of 131-ish level, okay, on the downside. So be aware of that. Now, looking at the Turkish lira, we've been in a tight range. Now, we're looking over the past couple of weeks, and you saw the devaluation of the lira versus the USD, mostly because of economic uncertainty and some disbalance, okay? And as this is, going into the election on Sunday, we're going to have, we're looking at it at the top of the range. So there's one or two factors here, okay? It's a tight race, whether the current sitting prime minister is going to be reelected or there's going to be a new administration. It's going to be a major difference, okay? If there's going to be a new administration, I think we'll get a correction. If there's not going to be a new administration, I think that, we'll be just trading in a range, maybe sell off a little bit and then correct ourselves. But, for sure it's going to be volatile, okay? You could possibly just be aware of the fact that we've changed the leverage from 200 to 1 to 50 to 1 for your safety, okay? Just keep it a little bit tighter and just make sure that if you are trading it, to put in take profits and stop losses before you enter the trade. Now, looking at gold here, we broke this 1270 level, okay, which was a major support level. We haven't breached it with, with momentum, okay? That's what's disconcerting about this. It's just, it feels like gold is just, drifting away, but not with some, enthusiasm, not with some conviction, okay? And that's possibly because, the world is a little bit, up at arms with geopolitical issues that are running the globe, okay? So it could be that that's why gold is still sustaining its strength, okay, not selling off to the 11 or $1,000 level, okay, and it's trading at 1268 where it should really be at the $1,000 level, okay, vis-a-vis how the indices are just making new highs, etc. So with that said, okay, I do believe that there's a resistance level of 1270. I do still think that we'll hit 1239 towards the end of the summer, okay, so just be aware of that. That we may still see some downside to it, okay, but as you can see on the RSI, we're below the 30, so could be that we'll get a bounce finally here, okay, so that's another factor here. So we haven't really breached it with conviction and some volume, okay, so we may see a bounce here, so just keep an eye on that later today. Now, looking at oil, with the OPEC meetings happening today, we're trading at 1643-ish level, right at that previous support level. Now, subsequent resistance, okay? So if we do break this higher, next resistance level is 67.44. If we do correct it, 64.61 is your next support level. So, keep an eye on this later today as this continues to trade throughout the day, depending on how they're going to manipulate or, how they're going to maintain or manage, which is a better word, for the current oil inventories, all right, as we enter the summer months. Now, looking at the DAX yesterday, now this is something of historical note, okay, we broke this major support level at 12,641, and we've been following this throughout the week and probably not with enough focus, okay, because this was really something that, we should have picked up and, spoke about with a little bit more conviction or a little bit more emphasis. We gapped down from this several levels, okay, as we made this double top here, okay, and then we continued gapping down, okay, we never filled the gap. 12,754 was your spot, and then finally breaking the support level right here, and we're trading at 12,500, okay. We're still only 1,000 points down from our all-time highs, but this is, a little bit disconcerting relative to the nice rally that we've had, okay, but this may be in response to Trump economics, to some of the tariff wars that the U.S. is now having or imposing on Europe. Okay, so take that into consideration. All right, so as this continues to trade, what do we do now? We're right in the smack of the range between this 12,641 and 12,300-ish level. So if we do get that bounce later today, just realize that your next resistance level is 12,641. Okay, so that will continue to trade, throughout the week. Looking at the Dow Jones, we sold off sharply here to 24,500-ish level, breaking the 24,670-ish level. Okay, so, going, over the past 2 weeks and looking at what the market has done, this may really consolidate at these levels, okay, and keep on trading within this ranges, okay. What is very strong is the NASDAQ, okay, although that it sold off about 200 points yesterday and made this small double top, but made a double top, is the fact that the major conglomerates like Facebook, Amazon, Google, Apple, and some of the other major high-tech companies didn't break out higher. Okay, so with that said, the NASDAQ looks like it's taking a little bit of a breather, okay, going into the summer months. So we may see a further correction on the downside here. Okay, so let's just keep an eye on that as well as things develop. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day and a beautiful weekend. Thank you.